Welcome back to Mastering MHA MBA. In part 1, we saw how managers think about problems. Now, in part 2, we get the actual method, the 5-step process that turns a messy problem into a clear, defensible decision. For routine choices, gut instinct is fine. But for big, complex, high stakes decisions, winging it is how smart people make expensive mistakes. A clear process does not replace your judgment. It channels it so you do not skip the step that matters most. Here are the 5 steps great managers use. The decision-making process has 5 steps and they flow in order. Define the problem, generate alternatives, decide, implement, and evaluate. Skip one, and the whole thing wobbles. Let us walk through each. Step 1. Identify and define the problem. This sounds obvious, but it is where most decisions go wrong. You have to find the real gap between what is and what should be, not just react to a symptom. A sharply defined problem is half solved. A fuzzy or wrong one wastes everything that follows. Step 2. Generate and evaluate alternatives. Resist the urge to jump at the first idea. List several genuine options, then weigh the pros and cons of each. The research is clear. Decisions made from just one or two choices are far weaker than those that started with a real range of possibilities. The key tool here is cost-benefit analysis. For each alternative, compare what it will cost against the benefits you expect. At a minimum, the benefits should exceed the costs, but also ask 2 more questions. Is it ethical, and is it actually feasible? A brilliant option you cannot execute is not really an option. Step 3. Decide. Choose your preferred course of action, ideally based on evidence, not just gut. And remember, refusing to choose is itself a choice, usually the worst one. At some point, analysis has to end and commitment has to begin. Decide, then move. Step 4. Implement. A decision on paper changes nothing. This is where many good decisions quietly die. Implementation means getting buy-in from the people affected, assigning clear owners and timelines, and actually executing. Value is created in the doing, not the deciding. Step 5. Evaluate the results. Did your decision actually solve the problem? Compare the outcome against your original goal. If it worked, great. If it did not, you adjust or loop back and start again. This is what makes the process a cycle, not a straight line. Every decision becomes a lesson for the next one. And running through all 5 steps is one constant check, the ethics. At every stage, pause and ask, is this fair and honest? Who might be harmed? Would this decision survive being made public? Ethical reasoning is not a separate 6th step. It is a thread woven through the entire process. Now, a dose of reality. There are 2 models of how decisions actually get made, and the gap between them is huge. The classical model assumes a perfectly rational manager who knows every option and picks the optimal one. Lovely in theory, but the behavioral model from Nobel laureate Herbert Simon says we operate with bounded rationality, limited information, limited time, and biased perception. So instead of optimizing, we satisfice, choosing the first option that is simply good enough. Be honest, that is how most of us decide most of the time. So how do the best organizations fight that limitation? They stop guessing and start testing. Today, around 77% of firms run A/B tests, comparing real alternatives with real users. Top performing teams validate roughly 1 new insight every working day, and AI now helps generate and test options at scale. The modern version of generate and evaluate alternatives is run the experiment. Let us recap part 2. The 5 steps are define the problem, generate alternatives, decide, implement, and evaluate. Check the ethics at every step. Know that we tend to satisfice rather than optimize. And whenever you can, test your options instead of guessing. Process beats winging it. This builds on our chapter notes from Schermerhorn and Bachrach's Exploring Management, 7th edition, drawing on the classical and behavioral decision models and Herbert Simon's idea of satisficing, updated with 2025 research on business experimentation. We always show you the sources. You now have the method. But even a perfect process can be sabotaged by your own brain. In part 3, the final part of chapter 4, we expose the decision traps and biases that fool even smart managers. If this is helping, subscribe, and we will see you there.